The InScope team is comprised of Brittany, Ken, and Chris. The market is flooded with project and task management solutions. Unfortunately, many of them are bloated with unnecessary features that complicate the workflow of their users. To make matters worse, many of the solutions available adhere to specific project management methodologies. Agile development, for example, is extraordinarily popular, and most of the available tools are specific to this workflow. A team that doesn't practice this workflow would have to work around the functionality built for Agile development. Teams lose required flexibility when using such rigid project management platforms. Changing their workflow could require adopting an entire new platform. Beyond design flaws, most solutions on the market today are available only by signing up for a fee-based web service. Organizations looking to host and customize their platforms have little to no options. While free services do exist, key features are often locked behind expensive subscription models that force teams to store their project data on third-party servers. Even after an organization has dedicated valuable resources into adopting a particular project management solution, users are often disengaged. A steep learning curve and lack of incentives can lead users to ignore the adopted project management tool.
Our solution was to provide a simple project and task management suite that does not conform to any specific project management methodology or any industry. InScope will be available via open source using the popular MIT license, providing users with the flexibility to host the application and change it to fit their needs. Our goals with InScope were simple. Create a clean and elegant project and task management tool that is easy to use. Create a system of rewards that keeps users engaged, and provide a flexible application that can be customized to meet the user's needs. The completed project utilized the Angular 2 framework for the front end and Firebase for the back end. We had chosen Angular 2 due to it giving the user a single-page experience for a multi-page site. We had originally planned to use PostgreSQL as our database, but switched to Firebase early in the project. Firebase fits nicely with Angular 2, providing an easier path to implementation of features such as user authentication and database queries. Angular Fire 2 was chosen as middleware to ease communication between Angular and Firebase. Angular Fire 2 provides a library of functions that simplifies much of the interaction between Angular and Firebase. With Angular 2, Firebase, and Angular Fire 2, we could focus more on what we wanted to create and less on how we needed to create it. Brittany utilized the Dragula library to streamline our drag-and-drop features. This saved significant time, as implementing this from scratch would have been a very large undertaking. The majority of code that we wrote for this project was in TypeScript, a superset of JavaScript. The great thing about TypeScript is that anything we can write in JavaScript will also work in TypeScript. TypeScript just gives us some extra features that help ensure our code will be less error-prone. This project is open source, freely available for anyone to download, run, or alter as they see fit. Having the project open source opens the door for other programmers to make improvements to the application, taking it in new directions that we had not considered.
There were several situations that our team struggled to overcome while implementing this project. The first one set us back the most. We had built the initial front-end application separately from our back-end application, and configuring the two to work together was taking too much time. Ken had already leveraged the authentication system that Firebase offers in our front-end application. Because Firebase was already in use in the project and provided a quick backend for us, we decided to drop our existing backend in favor of this one. While the use of Firebase made some areas of this project easier, others became more challenging. Because Firebase is a NoSQL database, traditional relationships that SQL databases provide were not an option. In particular, we had a challenging time implementing the relationship between users and projects, since users can participate in multiple projects and projects can have many users. After some tinkering and a few more Google searches, we were able to overcome this. These delays caused our team to fall behind on our project. We chose to omit the code review process and automated testing in order to complete our project in time. There were some smaller features we had planned to cover but were unable to due to our time constraints. An example of this was having a set of tasks under a task with its own project board. The last major difficulty we had in the project was understanding a mechanic of the Angular 2 framework. Every bit of an Angular project is divided up into components, and data obtained for them with Firebase is done through a subscription pattern. After implementing a fair portion of the project, we had noticed that there were errors in the console when we logged out of many of the pages. In the end, this was due to our failure to unsubscribe from our subscriptions when our components were destroyed, or on logout in our case. This product allows individual users and groups to manage their projects through our website without running their own server. It is simple for users to get started quickly by creating and assigning tasks immediately after signing in with a Google account. Additionally, all users are free from workflow-specific overhead while using InScope. The largest benefit for groups and small companies is that this project can be run on their own servers and customized without any fees. If they were to swap out the Firebase dependency with a local database, this could be particularly valuable if private data is stored. Being able to keep it behind a private network can be a lot safer than storing it in the cloud, or somewhere that's susceptible to being hacked. There were a couple of items that we had initially planned on covering in our project that we were unable to. In the future, we'd like to implement them. They are allowing users to nest tasks within a task so they can manage their tasks at a much more fine level, and remove Firebase as the database and opt for a local database instead. Some additional features that we'd like to complete in the future are adding alternate login methods and upgrading the task interaction. To do this, we would add a comment section and support attaching documents. Adding GitHub integration would also be a nice feature. This would allow tasks to be completed or have their status change if code is merged to a connected GitHub repository. While many of our users may not participate in methodology-specific workflows, we'd eventually like to welcome them to InScope by supporting optional configurations for them. In particular, we could support the velocity measurements that are used in an agile workflow and Gantt charts, which are commonly used in waterfall workflows.